Hello everyone and welcome to yet another weekend watch list video from Sakatas Homma, and today is 25th Sunday, and so what I am going to discuss today, this is the brief overview. We will quickly look at the indices and check what's where, what kind of the general product market structure looks like. And before going through the watch list in no particular order today, I will actually spend some time talking to you guys about actionability in a setup, okay, and where that actionability comes from in the market structure. And as a positional trader or a swing trader, where is that actionability for yourself, right? And this is partly also to tell you guys about that. There is at one extreme there is something like I am going to wait for my setup and not going to trade anything else, whereas the other end of the same thing can also be like I am a one trick pony, right? So I really want to make certain things clear and try to give you another view, and that is why I'm going to discuss this today. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to anticipate some strength in some of the sectors which could come, and this is extremely important because yes, we can now look at charts and tell that defense is very strong, but had we have the ability to anticipate the strength coming in, we would have very nicely been placed in the sector already. So this is something which you have to develop as a trader going forward, and it takes time. Then I will also tie up certain things, whichever sector and group I'm going to talk about. I'm going to tell which sector is where in that actionability map. And at last I'll go through the watch list. Okay, so this could be slightly long video. So you decide if you want to watch, and if you want to watch, then you have to watch the full video to get some help out of this. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so like I said, let's go through a couple of charts. Looking at the indices, the first thing is Nifty 50. So Nifty 50, what could happen, right? So basically we have run into this particular resistance, and we are now dilly-dallying around it. The index is still above the 1020 and trending up. So this is sort of a easy money environment for swing traders, and sort of hard money for positional, because on the longer term we're still inside the base and have not broken out. Okay, so see, we can bounce from here for sure, or we can go sideways, wait for the 20 to catch up, better flatten 50 to catch up and then break out, or we can even come back and retest this very strong confluence zone. Okay, so be clear, be okay with any possibility, be okay with not knowing what exactly is going to happen, but mota the bias is on the upper side. And the other one looks better is the mid small. Now mid small, we have broken out of this big inverse head and shoulder reversal base, and after 6 days of upswing, we are now in the fourth day of sideways consolidation. Now the outperformance of Nifty is getting shorter and shorter. I mean, it's reversing. As you can see, Nifty is at 21, whereas the mid small is at 10 now. Okay, so that means a bull market could, or like a bullish scenario could arise. In that case, the SMID will outperform the large caps. So that could be happening, first of all. And now here we have a very clear range between where it is basing. Now it could bounce off from here. Why I say that? Because we have a very nice tight 3 days action here, or just like the Nifty 50, it could wait for the 20 to come catch up, or even come back and retest this level, which would be a resistance and turn support, or we go back, move up. This is a potential resistance, which is a DTL line joining the previous two tops, and then we could form a bigger base. Again, like I said, be okay with all of these possibilities going forward. Embrace the suck, embrace the uncertainty, embrace not knowing exactly what happens tomorrow. Okay, so mota agar aapko pata hai what is going to happen, which is in this case the mota the bias is that as long as the key moving average is trending up, the price is above that, we are going to go up. Now looking back at couple of indices, You can see Nifty defense is one of the strongest because it's at the 52-week high of the defense index, which is not actually ATH of the defense, because the ATH of defense is here. Yeah, slightly below ATH. Okay, but anyways, it is one of the most strongest group in the market right now. Bank Nifty is setting up extremely well. Now this is a perfect flag. Prior uptrend came back, bounced off the 21. So from here, what I want you guys to take away is how to use index to know where the which groups, which indices are setting up. So clearly bank index is setting up, clearly private bank is setting up, because of course bank is setting up, clearly PSU bank is also setting up. Now this is not as strong as the private banks, but this is still a very tight area around the DTL. Okay, so and I'll show you a couple of really good names from the PSU space which are setting up as 52-week high or all-time high breakouts. Finance also setting up, right? What is IT doing? Okay, why did I skip auto? So auto, perhaps this is the reversal based breakout. CNX is also setting up at a reversal based breakout and now getting tight, bounced off the 21. So the next slide where I talk about actionability, you will then tie up which sectors are where and which sectors, which groups are actionable. Okay, so this is a big reversal based breakout, whereas pharma and health are slightly better. They're also sort of this whole big base did not develop so deeply like some other sectors. So these are slightly better and they are setting up well. Nifty Pharma, Nifty Health, and then again, once you know this information, then you can tie up with individual stocks. Some of the names from these sectors are setting up. So if this whole sector will do well, so then which is the leader of that sector which is already setting up somewhere here, like for example Divi's Lab, है ना? Okay, so that's more or less what I wanted to show you. And then now let's jump into the meat of this of the talk or the presentation today, which is basically to know where you can get all your setups. Okay, now see, when at the start of the bull market, or let's say the bull market we know is a couple of weeks to a couple of months old, then we will get setups around here because all-time high. So basically in general what happens, you have a stage 2, then stage 3, and this is a slightly elaborate stage 3 generally happens, and the base building happens where the left side of the base is basically a downtrend, and then you will have some sort of consolidation, the longer the better, and that is basically the reversal base breaks out, and then you will have some flags in this you will have cheat pivots, and then you will challenge the all-time high, or let's say the 52-week high, which I also call it as the ONP, O'Neill pivot. And then here you will sometimes form the handle, dilly-dally, and sometimes you break out. Sometimes it looks like a very good flag, and then it breaks out, and then we have a ONP breakout. Okay, and then after that you a couple of days of a pole formation, and then another flag and another setup here. Now you can see that most traders, because we are all most of our learning has all happened from How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill, or the Minervini books, or maybe not Stan Weinstein, because Stan Weinstein would buy here, but I see that a lot of people don't like or have an opinion that buying here is such a waste of time. But maybe they haven't read Stan Weinstein much. But anyways, so ideal case scenario, these breakouts out of the big base at all-time high are the best scenarios for both positional as well as swing trader. Okay, because why positional? Because this is the start of a very big breakout out of a very big base, and bigger the base, bigger is the scope of the up move. So as a positional trader, you would like to position yourself somewhere here. Now if it's a smaller stock, you have liquidity issue, then you might also buy somewhere here. But this is an actionable setup from for both a swing and positional point of view. Now this one setup, the first flag after a big base breakout, is a very high fidelity setup for anything. Like now positional should get in here, but this is like a more a swing trading setup, and this is the flag. Okay, now so coming back to something more basic, is that any tradable setup is either a big base breakout or a flag. Now coming back to actionable setup, like a lot of people say or believe that this big base breakout is actionable, but the big base breakout which leads to reversal of the downtrend, which is the big base reversal breakout, is also an equally actionable setup, especially when the market also is around this structure. Okay, now if you look at the market, again going back here, what is this? What structure are we? Are we here? Are we here at the O'Neill pivot, or are we at the reversal pivot? Okay, so we are at the reversal pivot, or we've just come out of the reversal pivot. Okay, hold on, this is yeah, so we've just broken out of the reversal pivot in the market in general, and not at the ONP. So the number of setups, actionable setups here, is far more than the number of actionable setups here. Okay, now of course the batting average would be better perhaps here, because when the market is gonna go here, we know that it's already some level of bullishness in the market has already set in. When the market direction is bullish, then the number of trades which will work in your favor will also increase. Rather, when we are just starting to be bullish, then the number of stocks or the number of setups which will work will also be less. But actionability wise, currently or in the last 2 weeks, you would have more actionable setups here versus there. Okay, so I want to make this very clear that actionability comes from where we are in the market, and this is also actionable. In fact, if you would have read Stan Weinstein, which is a fantastic book, Stan Weinstein's book, he buys basically here when the relative strength just moves to the positive. Okay, now this is O'Neill pivot, O'Neill's buy point, and Minervini buys wherever there is tightness mangta. Okay, so tightness tight is basically Minervini's funda. He generally doesn't buy here. He tries to avoid low cheat pivots. This in his lingo is a low cheat, but he definitely buys a tightness with the base breakout. VCP when the base breakout happens here, he also buys tightness VCP inside the base, and that's how people the cheat pivot comes into play. That's his lingo. So Minervini buys here, Minervini buys here, Minervini definitely buys here. So you can see that how, depending upon who you are as a trader, what is your this one, you can also then the actionability of a setup comes from, doesn't matter where it comes, but basically the actionability comes from tightness. Okay, now let's change gears and talk about ठीक है, ये सब तो ठीक है, बहुत ज़्यादा ज्ञान हो गया. These are all in the book and one can find and everything, but what are the setups which are currently setting up and currently here right now, right? So as I discussed, defense is the most strongest setup right now. Defense is somewhere here. Okay, we have not broken out of the all-time basis. Some of the names have broken out. See, I'm right now talking as a group. Okay, I'm not talking about like individual stock. Like for example, individually Masdog has broken out, BEL has broken out of the basis of the big bases. O'Neill pivot के बाहर है वो लोग. Solar Industries is gone. BEL is gone, Masdog is gone, they're all above that. But in general, as a group, the defense is here. Okay, so you will now find stocks which are either, some of them are here, some of them are here, some of them are here. Okay, जैसे मैं बोला यहाँ पे कौन कौन से है, Masdog. Okay, let me actually go and show you what I'm talking about. Masdog. Okay, so Masdog ONP से बाहर निकल गया वो, so it is now forming the flag above the ONP, है ना. BEL निकल गया ये, This was the tight setup, either ONP or you can call it low chit pivot, and then now the flag is forming, and then perhaps something like this could happen, है ना? Whereas some of the setups will be here. Okay, now let's look at if we can find those kind of setups. Paras Industries, hold on, not Paras Industries, Paras Defense. It is around there, the first pullback after the ONP. Okay, this is where Masdog was last week. Okay, and Paras is currently there. Maybe, and then I'll show you some of the names which are here. Okay, in this flag within the big base. Great example, कौन सा है? बताओ, जल्दी बताओ. Come on, tell me. It is. Hold on, किथे? Oh, where is Datta Patterns? IIO data. Fuck it. Data patterns. Okay, it's not at ONP. It's not right below the ONP, but it is somewhere not around the lower third of the base, but somewhere around the middle. Okay, so that's where Datta pattern is. Now there are some who are here. Okay, you want me to show which one? For example, Unimac. Yeah, Unimac is a good example. Unimac is at the lower end of the base. It hasn't broken out yet, but there is a tightness here, and that tightness gives us the actionability. Now you can go and one by one all of that and find which is where. Another one which is a really good one is the one which had not so great result. Apollo Microsystem is at the O'Neill pivot of a really big base here. Now what you need is a tightness area here for it to give more actionability. Okay, so as you can see, actionability will come from not just here, of course, which are the best case scenarios, but also here. I mean, GRSE was so actionable, which was here a few days ago, like 10 days ago. Let's show you GRSE. Okay, GRSE was here. This was a reversal base breakout hua. Now you could have entered here when the PBC was happening right below the base breakout hone ke baad the first PBC was an actionable setup. Currently it's at ONP now, right? So I hope I'm making sense here to you. Okay, it makes sense to me. I'm hoping it makes sense to you as well. So that's where defense is. Now where are railways? Railways are everything is here. Now do you wait for it to come here after knowing that railway is perhaps the third sector or group which is showing strength, which was the first and second? If you watched, if you followed me, you know which is the first and second. The first is financials, the second is defense. Now railway is as a group showing tremendous strength. Where is railways now? Railways are just starting to break out of the reversal BBBOs or forming flags right inside the base after reversal has happened. Now go and look. Now this is how you anticipate strength. If you know how stocks move, where it moves, where is it in relationship to the market environment, where is it in relation to the whole market structure, and what are exactly the signs you need to look at for actionability, which is tightness. So if you look at railways here, so where is railways? Railways have just broken out of their big bases, reversal bases, mind you. This is the one which a lot of people don't know that it's actionable. A lot of people only want actionability here at all-time highs, but bro, this is also equally actionable, right? So railway as a group has just broken out of their reversal bases and now are getting tight just above the BBBOs and OMFG. Like, this is where, in my opinion, the strength could come possibly. Now if you then go to individual names, you will look at some of them are already at highs, ONP, some of them are here, and some of them are trying to break out. Okay, so the problem is, yes, those which are already at the highs are probably the leaders, but what also happens in a couple of weeks, or 1 or 2 months, a lot of things could change. So you don't know that out of the 10-20 groups, and that's what I told about defense as well. That is why one could play the whole sector via more defense, because you don't know shippings are going to do well, or the explosives are going to do well, or the the drones are going to do well, or what is going to happen, right? So you always have to make smaller bets in multiple this one. So if you can now go to, like, let's say in TD power is already at the ONP. Okay, come back to this plot. Okay? Come back to this plot. TD power is here. Okay, but iconography is here. Where is it? It is here. Here, just above the reversal base. Where is rail tail? It is slightly above here. Okay, flag within the base. Maybe Ircon is also there and thereabouts. Yeah, Titagar is also there and thereabouts. HBL is also sort of, one could say that this is the big base, reversal base, and so it will be below. But you get my idea. Okay, this hasn't broken out of the big base. You get the idea, right? So do you not think that these names are not actionable just because they are not at the all-time highs? I don't think that is the case. So if you look at closely, if your scanning is near perfect, if your scanning system is perfect, then you will also see that a lot of cement names are at the all-time highs. Okay, so cement names are around here. I'll give you a couple of examples. So Ultratech is at around the 52-week highs. Yeah, so there are some other cement names also. Shree Cement broke out of the all-time high here. I mean, Onal pivot, first pullback, and then it's now gone up. So right, so Shree Cement is slightly better than Ultratech, but actionability wise, Ultratech is at around the big base breakout level now. Okay, so 19-20 ka farak. Then let's talk more about some other sectors. Where are sugars? Sugars are all broken out of this big base and are here. Some of them are here, just above the breakout pivot. After breaking out of the reversal basis, some of them are here. They have like formed. They have formed the poles, and then now are setting up as flags, very tight, really tight. And some of them, perhaps one or two, are at around O'Neill pivot. Okay, now they have to yet form the handle or the tight area, but they are somewhere here. Okay, and I can show you exactly which one is where. But all of them are actionable, given that they have tightness. Okay, so for example, the ones which are at the all-time highs are Eid Ki Pari. This is at the O'Neill pivot. Okay, so what I want here, this very small tightness after such a long up move doesn't work for me. This was a more actionable tightness setup, which was also at the breakout of the reversal base. Okay, or one can say this was a cheat pivot. I want something like this here. So this is there. So this is Eid Ki Pari is stronger or strongest from the whole lot. But if you want to see Renuka is also actionable. This was a beautiful reversal base on earnings, gapped up, and then now going sideways. Key MA is catching up. Okay, I wanna show you a couple of names which are really tight. Like, come on, Shakti is tight. I like some. So Juari hasn't broken out, but it's a flag with a VCP, 2T VCP, and at the base of the second T. So there is actionability here. Okay. Dalmia sugar. Look at this guy. Very near to a reversal pivot, just like EID parry here, but extremely tight. Had a really good price action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of pullback to the 10 DMA, and this pullback has extreme volume contraction plus extreme price contraction, and there is an element of what's the word? I'm forgetting the word. It's uniform. There is no like 2 days up, 3 days down. This is very uniform. Okay, so actionability comes from all of these. Okay, I will again summarize. See, actionability comes from everywhere. Big base reversals, continuation big base breakouts, and flags, and all of them should have tightness. Okay, as positionals traders, you can buy the big base breakouts, but as swingers, apart from the big base breakouts, you can also use flag breakouts, because it doesn't matter for swing traders. Okay, and actionability not just comes at around 52 week highs, but it also comes around 50 near the 52 week lows, where there is big base reversal breakout, particularly when we are at a time when the general market also is forming the same structure. Okay, so where are chemicals? Some chemicals are somewhere here, but most of chemicals are here, like your Balaji amines, your clean science, your Tattva Chintan. Okay, where are IDs? IDs are also at around reversal basis. Some are already here. Okay, now go find out which are which. Large cap pharma, I already showed you where they are. It's there somewhere here. Wires, pipes, they have some new bullishness. So a lot of them are doing well on EPs, and they have like basically broke out of the reversal basis, and they are somewhere here. Packaging, there is a fresh bullishness in packaging, so go find out some of the names. Bearings, now there are only two names here. Um, we have SKF and Timken. Where are they? They are perhaps broken out. They are perhaps reversal basis and getting tight after breaking out with huge strength. So now if you look at the all over, this is way below the 52 week high. Okay, like 50% down, currently 34%. But due to this tightness, do you not think it is actionable? I think it is. Now Timken is again reversed from a big base breakout, very nice up move, and then 3 days extreme tight action around the 10 DMA. Okay, so this is also actionable. Okay, so bearings, graphite, HEG and graphite, look at them. They look very similar to bearings. So that was a quick sort of a masterclass on stock selection, actionability, and in general how to anticipate strength coming in on a sector by looking wholesome way the indices and the general structure of market, and then looking at the relation to where this particular sector is in the market. Okay, so now with that I will go to the actual meat of the presentation, which is looking at some actionable names. Now this is a very long list. Now I will again tell everyone here that you don't have to make such a long list. This is a weekend list because I talk to you guys only once a week. So I generally have a long list, but then every day you also find more actionable names within this. Okay, so the names are in no particular order. Generally I try to put an order, and I will perhaps do that for my HPA folks, but in here there is no particular. So data patterns extremely tight around key EMAs. One of the leaders of this bull market, Bharat Forge, again from the defense sector, has a fresh breakout of a double bottom base. Now these are basics. डबल बॉटम बेस के बाद ये आके बढ़िया से यहाँ पे 10 DMA पे टकराया. दैट 10 DMA इज़ ऑल्सो एट अ कॉन्फ्लुएंस एरिया ऑफ द प्रीवियस रेजिस्टेंस or or the previous swing high, right? So that's where the actionability comes from. And the other thing, like I said, is it tight? Because tightness doesn't give you a higher batting average. It just gives you a smaller risk. Okay, that's again very important to know which why. Why is also important. Paras defense very similar to Dattapi. Looks good. Nibbi at around the all-time highs, or I don't know, previous high, 52-week high comes from apparently. So I don't know why this is in my defense list. Apparently it's a textile name, not sure there. Kanye's, you see, there is a reversal here. This is the reversal base, and then the first flag inside the base. This is the second. Now this is not a flag. One can call it a flag, but now what has happened is this was a better flag, because in general what happens, the base depth of a flag should be around 23%, 25%. उससे ज़्यादा नीचे हो गया तो then it becomes like a bigger, deeper base. And once that now what is happening is that this guy is perhaps going in a ascending channel. Okay. And then every time it clips the low of the channel, that's and bounces off the key moving average, that's a potential entry. So low risk. Okay. Apart, this was an entry. Too tight the entries. Graphite India, like I said, where is this again, there are different ways to look at it. This is a big base on a weekly. Okay, like huge base. And this is the prior up move. There is about 78% retracement. The second retracement is about 50%, and the third retracement is about 50% of this up move. But in general, if you look at this, is like a 3T VCP on an extremely bigger time frame. Now people say that it doesn't work. It doesn't work because on a longer time frame you only have so many setups, and for you the number of setups that work, I mean that there is a time dilation here. So but in general, setups are universal. They are what's the word, fractal. Okay, so they will work. Look at PFC. Before the 2023 bull run, there was a big VCP, 1 2 3 4 5. There's a big breakout. Bigger the base, bigger the move. How many X did PFC go? See, I mean, I can only give you I can only show you examples. What you want to believe, what you don't want to believe is all up to you, right? So there is an actionability here as well, is what I'm saying. Now, some of the flags are ready, some of the flags are not ready. Okay, and I would say graphite is like 50-50. It could break out from here, but it will also come back and make an elaborate like 1T, 2T, 3T VCP. So for example, Kolte Patil did something like this. So यहाँ पे we thought, oh, really great flag, came back 21 से bounce हुआ, and then went for a second T, and then eventually it broke out to give like a 12% move, right? And Kolte Patil is 3.4, so you just also have to see what is the kind of ATR, because higher the ATR, the you'll get a longer move in a shorter amount of time. Now DV slab, it's a all-time high breakout, 52-week big base breakout, and the actionability came from this tight area, and then this was the PBC entry, this was the big base entry, and then after this up move there is 4 days of really tight this one, right? So these are really nice setups. Dalmia Sugar I already showed you. Dalmia Renuka, both are similar, slightly different, but mota they are very similar in actionability, like where they're somewhere here. AU Bank, that the private banks are setting up amazingly well. And what is this? Prior uptrend, T1 bounces off of the 10, goes up, waits for 20 to catch up, T2, and then this one is the bounce from the second T, a bossed anticipation of the breakout of the second T. So South India Bank is also at around a previous week high. The reversal base breakout happened here, and then it's getting tight after the breakout. Might not be ready yet. Um, this is yet to break out of the reversal base. IFL caps broke out of the reversal base. Very similar to uh, if you look at Renuka, broke out and then now getting tight. Waited for the 10 DMA to catch up. IFL extremely tight, extremely tight. It has a very actionable one horizontal line. Now, sometimes it so might feel that I am against one horizontal lines. I am actually not. What I am against is people drawing one horizontal lines zabardasti. Okay, people ignoring tightness areas elsewhere or PVC setup elsewhere and jabardasti going and trading one horizontal line where there is no tightness or where there is no edge. Now this one horizontal line has an edge, because if let's say tomorrow this horizontal line breaks out, you can essentially have, and let's say you buy it here, you don't buy it the perfect like entry, but you will have like a 3% kind of a stop loss, which is very good as a swing trader. Okay, so this is a one horizontal line base. You just go to 25 minutes and it will be more clear. Okay, this one above 418 there is an entry, and you could even shorten your stop loss. Okay. DLF. So DLF 3 days tied. 3 days is generally not enough for a base. But you know what I like in this? There is a clear VCP. Every day there is a range, a contraction happening now, because you have read that VCP is like this. यहाँ तो कुछ ऐसा है नहीं भाई है. I'll show you. You see this? T1, T2, T3. And if this breaks out, you can essentially have a sub 2% stop loss. Okay. And if you have a sub 2% stop loss for a 3 hour, you just have to have 5%, 6%. Okay. So you don't have to get a very good move from here to make money. Okay. So that's where actionability comes from. HCC, reversal base, tightness, IDT cementation, amazing base. Oh my god, level base, right? So the best thing would be to have 2-3 days of tightness here and then bam. One could also anticipate, because it's now at very near to 10 DMA. Okay. Anyways, I think the video is getting too long, but I'm very happy with what I did today in this video, in the sense that I could share whatever I had in my mind regarding what is actionable, what are the biases one could have had, and that bias could definitely comes from the books we read, from the theoretical part. That bias also comes from following a particular subset of people on the internet, and I also have that bias. So all of it's very important to know all of the biases. Okay. Now NACL industry, in the other kind of bias one could have here is कि bro और कितना ही जाएगा, 300% भाग गया यहाँ से, है ना, बट और जा सकता है ना. So all you have to do is get a low risk entry, and it doesn't matter if it actually comes back here, because you will not wait for the price to, if you enter at a low risk entry, you will not wait for the price to hit a give back 70%. Okay, you will wait for it to just hit your stop loss, and if it doesn't hit your stop loss, then this is a very nice 2T cup and handle base, and it could go somewhere here. Okay, so it's good to have fear, but it's not good to trade with fear. Okay. Anyways, I'm just blabbering at this point now, but yeah, I'm gonna share this list to the HP folks. So I will stop here and maybe maybe sort some of the top 5-10 names from here, and that would definitely be from sectors which I think are or does move first, first come first serve. So I'll stop here, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as enjoyed talking to you guys. I share my watch list every week in the video format like this, so please subscribe if you want to not miss any of the updates. And if you find it helpful, do share the video and like the video. It helps the channel a lot. And I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye bye.